possibly links to the fluoride and that they're not supposed to have fluoride, because if it wasn't for the environmental doctor that told us not to have fluoride, my son could have been one of those 43 children.
Okay, so
Great. Maybe we can wrap and just make sure we get some other people in too.
Yeah.
You want to make a couple other real quick?
one thing, mercury would have never been found without the DSMA. My mercury was over a point over, 1 whole point over the reference range of 2.19. Mine was 3.17. Without the DMSA, this is important. Without that chelation agent, it says none detected.
Wow.
Right.
Just take
Okay.
that back right
Thank
there.
you.
So, great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for sharing.
Thanks, you guys.
And I just want to add to that we deserve health care and public health care that is not influenced by whatever corporations. Right now we have a situation where our regulatory agencies and like the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, is sponsored by the very companies who are supposed to be regulated.
That's
So
right.
it's very hard for people to know. I mean, I can tell you as a medical doctor, it's very hard to even keep up with this literature unless you're doing it all the time.
Right.
So, you know, I know there are many controversies out there about the right way to diagnose and the right way to treat, but I think what we can all agree on is that these standards need to be set by people who are not working for the industry
Right.
and who are not compromised
Right.
by the industry, so that we can actually have faith that our water is being protected. And as they pointed out, there are only certain chemicals that are even looked for and regulated in our water, but there are 100,000 synthetic toxic chemicals that are out there these days, and you know, to which we are exposed to different degrees. And they use the kind of human guinea pig approach, is that they waited a century to regulate lead. Okay, that's how it got to be in our pipes all over the place and in our buildings, because it was like a human experiment for a century until there were so many deaths and sicknesses from lead that, oh, then they had the body count. You should not be proving things with a body count before you start regulating it.
Right.
We need a precautionary principle that's protecting people, not profit. Right now, they're putting profit first. So it's very hard for people to know who to believe and which way to turn. We need regulatory agencies that we can trust. And what we, you know, nobody is questioning that there's a lot wrong with the water here in Flint. The people of Flint need to be provided clean drinking water right now for drinking, for bathing, etc. That water needs to be provided, and we need to start cleaning up the pipes on an emergency basis.
Right.
Yes,
That may
thank
be
you.
And absolutely, the people of Flint should not pay for it. Other thoughts?
I just wanted to mention something. I don't think a lot of people, even from Flint, know this. The land that we're standing on right now is probably contaminated. My mom, where she lives, is over in the center and Richfield area. Most of the land in the Flint area that General Motors used back when they were building these homes, they used dirt from steel it's refinery dust. It's got glass stones. It looks like onyx. What that is actually it's dirt that is turned to glass from the furnaces blasting it, right? They use that dust out of those furnaces and stuff to put down for driveways, to put down the roads and all that stuff. And over the years, grass has started to grow on it. But you can't hardly get anything else to grow in it. And so along with our water, people should be testing their soil. Your kids are playing in this dirt. Chances are there's a lot of chemicals in this dirt that we don't even know about.
Good point. Exactly. Other thoughts, observations, just, you know, what's your experience been like here with the water, trying to get clean water?
Yes, someone here.
Yes.
As a resident, I've experienced people, local and statewide, want to do what's called a beautification process of the city of Flint, because if you put a pretty Band-Aid over it, then there's nothing wrong with it because it looks fine. And I think we need to wake people up and make them realize that that's all it's doing. You're not fixing anything. You're not making anything better. It's a beautification process to make you forget about how sick you are and how bad the situation is and just make you feel more comfortable.
$36.6 million is what they just moved. Donald Trump met with Mayor Weaver and some other constituents down at the Palace of Auburn Hills to talk about 25.5 mil that would be invested here for a stadium that we'll have eventually downtown from the Pistons owner, and not to talk about the 36.5 mil that's supposed to fix downtown to make it look nicer. Kettering's doing it right now, where you go by some of these old consumer waste dumps where me and my father were talking about. You can't use these areas for 50 to 60 some years, so what they're doing now is they're making it look like these beautiful parks that you can take walks in. They're not telling you is that if you reach down and touch the dirt below, you're going to get cancer from it. So this is what you see going on, is the beautification. Make everything look nice on the outside, but you dip your hands into oil.
Exactly.
General Motors.
Really well
General Motors.
said.
And the people are saying the city is actually putting $1 million into getting people to mow the lawns of the abandoned houses. Like, that $1 million doesn't need to go anywhere else except for to mow a lawn.
Unbelievable. And I want to follow up on one thing that Christina said, these infant deaths. This is well cataloged now for several years. There's been a marked increase in infant deaths here in Flint. And it's gone along with a increase in prematurity, that is, infants born before they're ready for it. And they're still doing the studies to try to figure out what it is, but one thing that's known is that lead causes premature births. It causes babies to be born too soon, which is then the biggest risk factor for babies who die. So, you know, there's a lot happening here. And what you're talking about, you know, that this is a generic problem of pollution in our soil, in our consumer products, in our homes, in our food, our air. This is about a predatory economy that's trying to squeeze dollars out of sales, out of products, going on the cheap, using the toxic stuff. Products should be made. There's no reason why products can't be made which are non-toxic and which can be recycled, which don't contribute to the waste stream. You know, the buildup of plastic now is all over the ocean, and it's broken down at a microscopic level all over the place. It's like in the deepest trenches in the ocean. There's collective poisoning going on right now. Lead is sort of the tip, I should say. Flint is the tip of the iceberg in this ocean of poisoning right now. So what you're doing here, you're not only calling for a remedy for Flint, you're calling for a remedy for the nation and for the globe, in the same way that the Standing Rock water protectors were standing up not just for their water, the water for 14 million people downstream, you know, and for the climate, which is going over the cliff right now for everybody. In many ways, you know, you get a sense that we're sort of in this existential moment right now. This is that do or die moment. Martin Luther King talked about it as a choice between chaos or community. We see the same thing in South Korea, where I'm going tomorrow, because that's where the military machine is, you know, it is devolving into this nuclear confrontation. We're on the threshold of potential nuclear war in between North Korea and the U.S., and then bringing everybody else in on it. You know, we can't go there. And by the way, you may not know this because the press hasn't been covering it, nuclear weapons have just been outlawed by the United Nations. They've gone the way of landmines and of cluster bombs. They've been outlawed. So it's like absurd that we're moving.
The word we're going to
missile
use
systems.
it because we just used that Moab. They're thinking that we're going to use a small nuclear bomb somewhere. I'm sure that's why the United Nations passed this, because they're waiting for Trump to do something that crazy.
Exactly. And so the majority of the world's nations and the majority of the world's people are standing up now to say, none of this, you know, no more nuclear weapons, period. And we need to back off of this military madness and put our dollars into real sustainable economy, sustainable development, a healthcare system for everyone, education for everyone, including a free college education or a technical education, so that everyone can have the skills that you need in order to survive in today's economy. This isn't pie in the sky stuff. This isn't like, you know, naive idealism. For lack of idealism, we're going over the cliff here very quickly, whether it's nuclear weapons, endless war, toxic pollution that has just reached, an incredible threshold. It's gone off the charts. Whether it's the breakdown of our healthcare system, our schools that are being privatized, our governments that are being taken over by so-called emergency managers. You know, we the people, when we stand up together, we are absolutely unstoppable. We're standing up for what's right, what's achievable. We're saying no to the lesser evil. We're saying yes to the greater good. And we're standing up to fight for it like our lives depend on it, because they do.
Yes.
We do have the power to create an America and a world that works for all of us, that puts people, planet, and peace over profit. The power to create that world is not just in our hopes, it's not just in our dreams. That power is being created right here. I want to give a big thank you to all the people that are gathered here, the natives of Flint, the natives of America, the water protectors who've come here to create a world that works for all of us. Thank you all so much.
Real fast, we have someone who's been supporting the camp. Yesterday got taken to the hospital and has to get surgery, and she's watching the live feed right now. Her name's Sunny Taylor. Can you say hi?
Hi, Sunny. Thank you for shining your sun over here, and thank you for your work for Flint. We're with you. Get better soon, and come back. We need you on the team.
Woo.
So you heal up.
Thank you, Sunny.
Thank you, Sunny. Let's give a thank you to Sunny.
Is it time to spray paint stuff now?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, too much wants to do a prayer before, if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
Do we do that all around the fire?
Just no video
Yeah, something
cameras at the
cold.
fire, please.
Water?
Yeah.
Video cameras down around the fire.
Thank you.